Hello friends, and welcome to Divine Feminine Astrology. Today we're going to do coffee shop chat number 3. So thank you for joining me, and today we're going to talk about Mercury and the birth chart. And this is actually by request, so I'm really excited. Thank you. Looking for requests right now. So yeah, let's get into it. Super excited. So here we go, some of the notes I took and the things I wanted to talk about. Mercury rules communication. This is the planet of communication, the intellect, the mind, and writing, and things like this. Mercury also is a consciousness surrounding our goals, our mental goals, and daily routines in our lives regarding our communication. And when we have transits or places in our chart where we have Gemini or Virgo or Mercury, our communication skills and needs and patterns are all going to be influenced by these things. So it's pretty important to talk about, especially when we're in this age where we're trying to communicate more effectively and hopefully more honestly, things like that. So I think we have a lot to learn from Mercury, and I think it's a beautiful planet. So let's see, I'm going to move forward. Sometimes Mercury will manifest as Gemini in your birth chart, and depending on the areas in which it falls, you might truly prefer the intellect over the emotions, personally. Also, you need to honor these parts of yourself, this love for intellect and writing, by determining what house Gemini falls in and trying to figure out how you can better your communication skills in this one particular area. So that's just a little tip that I have about Mercury. But by the way, if you need this information and you're not sure how to get it, I am a big fan of cafeastrology.com. And those ladies, I believe, that run that website give a pretty thorough free birth chart. So if you need more information than your sun sign and like rising sign, which you do, I think that's a good place to find it. I don't think the chart is as comprehensive that they're going to provide you as the one I got from them several years ago. But in general, I find their chart to be pretty good. You can also check out pamgregory.com, and she provides some basic natal chart free information as well. So that's a side note about how to get this. But let's go forward here. So I want to give the example. I have very small amounts of Gemini in my chart, like a 3 degree and a 1 degree, just because I have so much more Sagittarius, which is kind of a polarity to Gemini. You know, it's more about the spiritual search, so less concerned about everything that's going on in the mind and more concerned about expanding the mind. So yeah, I've got Jupiter in Gemini in my chart. Jupiter's the ruler of Sagittarius. So expansion, Jupiter, of communication, Mercury, is my focus in this incarnation. And I personally need to pay attention to that part of myself. Because if I'm just distracted by, oh, I'm a Sagittarius sun sign, I'm going to travel to all these countries and speak all these languages, and I'm just sort of lost in the ego of the sun sign, maybe we could say, and I'm not focused on this part of my chart where Jupiter is asking me to expand my communication skills, I might get lost in that ego. And that's something we talk about a lot in the International Ministry of Metaphysics with Dr. Masters, who's the president of the University of Sedona that I attend for doctoral studies in mysticism and research. So anyway, I think all this stuff is really important. So sorry about that tangent. But anyway, also I have Gemini in the 10th house. So the 10th house is your mission in life, your public self, and your career. So this is something I'm sort of trying to focus on because Gemini is not that natural to me. So I think it's really important that we find these areas of our chart and we think about it. So let's think about, where is Mercury in your chart, and think, okay, so for me, for example, it falls in the 10th house. So I'm gonna think about my life and say, okay, is the communication that I'm putting out there, the writing that I'm doing, all this communication and intellectual work that I'm doing, is it reflecting my career, mission in life, public self in the way I want it to? Or do I need to make some changes there? So that's just an example of how you can kind of explore Mercury or Gemini in your own chart when you get that information. And then let's see. Lastly, I just wanted to say, figure out where Mercury was in the sky the day that you were born, And I really think that harnessing that sign's energy in your communication and your writing skills will very likely add value to your life for sure. Becoming conscious of this area and kind of like respecting it in a sense, because it's a part of our own deity, I think, our natal chart for sure. Anything else? Basically, just want to say that I have Mercury in Sagittarius in my natal chart, of course. And I could definitely say that I take on Sagittarius traits when it comes to valuing higher communication. So I love the way that I personally put Mercury communication and Sagittarius stuff together in my life, because I think it's really important in this time right now that we are concerned with God and religion and philosophy, and that's what Sagittarius cares the most deeply about. So that's me, I'm a Sag. So yeah, valuing foreign travel, foreign cultures, as well as optimism and spiritual passion, truth and joyfulness. Those are the kind of things that I'm gonna funnel into my communication because I have Mercury and Jupiter and Sag coming together in a couple of different areas in my chart. So last thing I wanted to say is that I think this is a really beautiful tarot card. Let's see how I can get this in the light. Do you see, sorry about the mirror effect, but we have Mercury. This is the Celestial Tarot that I'm looking at here. And this particular card is the Magician, is what it's representing in this tarot deck, which is Roman numeral number 1. So this is all about Mercury, god of communication, kind of coming forth right now as our first priority. And this is how I'm feeling this energy in my life right now. And then I'll just leave with one little sentence from the Celestial Tarot, even though this guidebook is a little bit puny, by the way, if you're going to buy that tarot deck. But the Magician, as Mercury, as we're looking at it here, this says, the card signals a new phase filled with abundant spirit and momentum. A creative process is underfoot. The Magician suggests an epiphany of the god of communication who is ready to guide us across the threshold of change. I just thought that that was pretty powerful. It says, when the Magician is drawn, consciousness of goals as well as the will, integrity, and intellect need to be pursued and implied very consciously, basically. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Mercury today. So if you're a Gemini or a Virgo or have a lot of those energies in your chart, I'll say hello with a lot of Virgo energy in my chart and a little bit of Gemini. And yeah, just say have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.